Rain Man, 1988. This is a road trip, a comedy drama film, and it was released just before Christmas 37 years ago in 1988. And it stars Dustin Hoffman and Tom Cruise as brothers. Brothers who didn't know each other, and um, their their father kept Dustin Hoffman's character a secret, effectively. Um, Dustin Hoffman plays Raymond, and Tom Cruise plays Charlie Babbitt, and yeah, Raymond Babbitt is so they're brothers. And Charlie thinks he's an only son, an only child, and he is a car dealer. He's really materialistic. He's very self-centered. He does have a girlfriend, um, Susanna, uh, and um, she's one of the best characters in this film, as in she's a lot more sympathetic towards Raymond. And of course, there's so much has changed in our understanding of autism since that time, over the last 37 years. So a lot of the language, especially the language used by Charlie, is fairly offensive. I mean, there's no other way of putting it, really. He doesn't understand anything about it. And the thing is, Raymond is in an institution called Walbrook. His father hasn't revealed anything about him, but when his will is um, read out by the family lawyer, and it doesn't disclose who the money's going to, Charlie has to do some digging, and that's where the film follows him because he's so desperate to get this money. He's mercenary, um, and he doesn't understand an awful lot. I mean, he's young. I think his character's born in 1962, so he's about 26, and Raymond's older, but of course, Charlie feels entitled, especially right at the start. He talks about wanting to get his hand on all of the money, but then he sort of downplays it a bit when he thinks he can argue to get half the money. He's sort of like quite slippery, I guess. You know, the way people who want money will try any trick. Um, but in essence, takes um, he explains at Walbrook that when he meets Raymond, and he doesn't know anything, of course, but uh, he he's with Susanna as well at that point, and she's an ameliorating factor, probably all the way while she's there. And she eventually gets so disgusted by um, Charlie's attitude um, that she just walks out. And I won't say I'm not to say too much, obviously, because it's a great story. with a lot of difficulty because, gosh, I understand it now. I mean, like, um, I've done my vlogs, my video vlogs on Cali Kata Vlog about learning myself about autism and ADHD and um, I mean, there's so many different types of people, and the way I don't know. I mean, I can see why this is an award-winning film, but of course, if it was done now, you'd hope that it wouldn't be someone like Justine Hoffman playing the character. Uh, this talk of high functioning, of course, I mean, that was used even until just relatively recently. I mean, there's a lot of terms that just aren't really acceptable, certainly probably less acceptable in the UK. I don't know, things tend to be I think things are seem to be regressing a lot in the USA, given, you know, all the stuff like all that talk last year of Tylenol and all. Oh gosh, there's just so much, and I don't want to get too distracted by talking about all of that. And yet, I don't want to say that I haven't noticed all the problematic bits that aren't probably weren't. I mean, it's because the film was made at that time. It certainly helped improve the understanding of people. I mean, Raymond is like, I mean, I saw the film for the first time last night, Sunday. It was because it was award season, BAFTA award season. So cinema showing films from years gone by that have won awards. And I could see, this was a really good film. Um, but there's probably more to unpack in this film than I can even think about. I mean, I go to um, drop-ins where I meet other people who probably wouldn't understand things a lot better than me because it's only recently, just in the last couple of years, that I've been discovering about my own um, autism. I mean, to some extent, I was able to mask and hide a lot of it. No, I remember, say in 1999, when I was at work, I remember one of my colleagues who was slightly senior to me, not a boss, but she said the way I communicated, she didn't really follow why she said that I'm obviously intelligent. That's the sort of things she would say, but she said that I seem to have a lot of blockages in my ability to talk. So anyway, that's me. I'm not, and one small snapshot of, I mean, just in the last couple of years, in November 2023, I got assessed with the conclusion of cognitive neurodivergence. And yet, you know, I didn't know for a really long time. And yet, there were scenes in this film during the road trip where it reminded me so much. No, nowhere. I'm no, I wouldn't. I'm nowhere near as intelligent as Raymond in this. This, I mean, as sharp. Let's put it that way. As Raymond's character, like he drops these cocktail sticks and counts them. He memorizes so many different things. He's got an amazing brain. Um, but in the kind of holistic society that that is formed to suit everyone who's neurotypical, um, he can't function so well. I mean, like there's a point where there's this smoke alarm going off. There's things like that. There's sort of little clues to suggest he can't live outside an institution. I'm not sure that's correct. I mean, oh gosh, the whole thing about institutions. I mean, given that in the USA there has been talk about putting trans people in institutions, it's really frightening. But just all the potential and all the loss of freedom, all the lack of reaching um, your goals and being your authentic person, your authentic self, whether you have neurodivergence or you're trans or in other ways gender diverse or um, all the other factors, all the disabilities, all the people whom for centuries were kept institutionalized. And that, of course, makes people dependent. And so there were all these thoughts like this were going through my head when I was watching this film. And I was thinking, I was feeling heartbroken, really. And yet I was marveling at the film as well because I think it was like quite a breakthrough film if people didn't understand um, autism as well at that time. So I've covered a bit. I'm probably ripe for criticism for the things I've missed and I haven't covered, and perhaps blunders I've said because I don't know if what I've said is accurate. And I'm on a learning curve. But one thing I will say about this film is the character arc. There's two learning curves, and um, it's really sweet seeing how things develop, and it's really worth watching. And I'm definitely giving this 9 out of 10 as a score. And I'd love to know what you think, given um, you know how things were at that time. And I'm not saying that that is even forgivable for people who are critical of that, but I found it revealing and interesting, and it shows how much attitudes have changed um, for the better. And um, yeah, given all the looming political threats, um, it's worth seeing now. It's worth a lot of people seeing now films like this and seeing other films. The film I'm going to link to is the film on Tourette syndrome, which is another very misunderstood condition, um, and one that really that was from last year. That film, I'm going to put that in the links. Um, um, because that was absolutely amazing as well. That was called I Swear 2025. So 37 years later, but again, a really sympathetic, groundbreaking story explaining something that so many people just don't understand and won't even begin to empathize with, probably simply because they don't understand. And that's why we need films like this. So 9 out of 10. Please like if you like this review. Thanks for watching. Thanks if you subscribe. Please hit the notification button. Follow the link to I Swear, the next film I recommend. Thanks for watching. Bye for now. Hope to see you again soon.